Okay, you all can see my screen, guys.
Yes, Soumya.
Okay, so let us start over whatever we completed last session. I'm not gonna go run through the course topics. We started discussing about what is a database cloud service, database deployments, and we discussed that whenever you go ahead and create a database cloud service database deployment, we have to talk about 5 to 6 things. One is what is the release we would need, what is the software edition, what type of database we would need, what is the computing power, how many CPUs and RAM, and what is the storage we would require, and what backups should be configured. So when we talk about the software release or software edition, the release is nothing but the 11G release 2 or 12C release 1 or 12C release 2 or 18C. And when we talk about the editions, we have standard edition, enterprise edition high performance, enterprise edition extreme performance. So this enterprise edition high performance and extreme performance, the difference varies between some of the options and management packs. So we have also seen a list of options and management packs that is available in Oracle. That also we can found by Googling or from Oracle documentation as well. So just to reiterate the same thing, what editions is possible? There is a small picture out here. Like we have standard editions, where we just get a full database instance, no options and management packs, only up to 16 Oracle CPUs. Now, on the same standard edition features, you go ahead and add transparent data encryption. That becomes your enterprise edition. Now, with enterprise edition features, you have many options and management products like multi-tenant, data guard, partitioning, compression, RAT like real application testing, and few more. That makes your high performance. On top of that, you add something more like real application clusters in memory database, active data guard. So that becomes your enterprise edition extreme performance. So, anyways, this versions are has been like like adding few things and removing few things. These are 4 versions has been finally kept in the Oracle Cloud for our needs. Apart from this release and the version, we would need to have a database type. Now, there is one thing we would say, like not very strange part, but yes, it is little strange. When we talk about the database type, there is something like single instance database clustering with rack, single instance with data guard standby, database clustering with rack and data guard standby. So all these features is not available in each and every region. So what is a region and availability zones? We haven't discussed so formally, but a region is nothing but a place where Oracle has put up its data center. So it is possible that in European places or in EMEA, Oracle has created 3 different data centers. One is in London, one is in Frankfurt, Germany, and somewhere another one is somewhere in the Europe. So there are basically 3 data centers got created there. Similar will be there would be some data centers created for the APAC region. So those data centers are possibly created in Japan and somewhere else. Similar way, there are few different data regions are created in America also. So the region plays important role in choosing your Oracle database type. So it may be possible that in Frankfurt you can create a database clustering with rack, but you cannot create a database clustering with rack and data guard standby. So the data guard standby feature may not be available in Frankfurt, but the same thing is available in the London data center. So what I was trying to say, when you choose your database type, if a particular database type is not available in a particular region, you have to keep on changing the nearby region to see whether those features are available or not. For example, you wanted to create a real application cluster that is not available somewhere nearby to Europe, in Europe data region. So you can try changing it to Frankfurt and see if it allows. So basically, all features are certainly not available in all the data centers. The Oracle is trying hard to put up a lot of more efforts to make it available. Okay, but yes, that is there. So we will see that practically how we do that. Okay, apart from this, we have something called as a computing power, database storage, and backup configuration. Okay, before we go for that, this Oracle database type, we have only one different type of type that is very new to us. That is a data guard standby for hybrid DR. So basically, what Oracle says, we have discussed about a use case wherein organizations they do not want the standby to be available throughout the year. They do it only during the compliance or auditing time period, then they scrap it because of the additional unwanted a lot of investment that goes into their capital expenses. So to avoid that, Oracle has given this option. So you can keep your database in your own premises and you can build your data guard onto the Oracle cloud. So your DR runs in the Oracle cloud, but your database runs in your own computer or in your own server on your own data center. So this is a reference database cloud service architecture that we have discussed. So when we talk about a DBaaS is nothing but it's a platform as a service offering. It has nothing but it is combined of a database, it is combined of some tools, it is combined of enterprise manager, it has some storage like U01, U023, and it has some cloud storage for taking the backup and everything. And of course, it has infrastructure, it has a CPU, some RAM. So all these things together is basically nothing but called as your compute infrastructure plus storage plus the RDBMS component. So this all things together is nothing but called as a platform. This platform is meant for hosting your databases. So that is why it is being called as a database as a service. So these things we access it using our My Services portal. So our My Services portal is nothing but cloud.oracle.com. In a very recent, in another 2-3 minutes, we would be jumping onto the portal and we would be trying to understand what are the different type of portals is there and what kind of different confusions that we can lead into. Okay, so the central point of the point wherein we can access everything is nothing but your cloud.oracle.com. Okay, this is the other thing like we have discussed like who are the authorized vendors to host this Oracle databases. So we have discussed about Amazon EC2 and RDS and Microsoft Azure. So they do both provide Oracle databases into their platform, but as an IaaS service, infrastructure as a service. So as part of infrastructure as a service, they will give you a whole set of infrastructure. Plus, they will allow you to have your Oracle database installed, but you have to bring your own licenses, and whether you can buy license from them, both possible. But yes, both are possible on top of infrastructure as a service. They do not give you a complete database as a system completely shipped, but yes, they provide you IaaS offering. And we discussed two virtual CPUs of Amazon and Azure is will be equivalent to one Oracle CPU. Okay, that is fine, we will talk about them more later. Now moving on to some simple thing like what is the IaaS offering. So when we talk about infrastructure as a service offerings, so ideally what we discuss, if you remember, there is a notepad I have started explaining what we will cover in IaaS, what we will cover in PaaS. What is there in PaaS, what is there in IaaS. So if you look at this IaaS, the very first thing is the compute. So compute is nothing but when you talk about creating the computing instances with different set of memories or different type of processes. It can be a bare metal, it can be a virtualized machine, it can be accelerator machine, it can be a high power Xeon machine. So we would see what compute options is there. Similar way, types of virtual networkings or private network tunneling. I believe Prasad was asking how we can configure the private end-to-point, end-to-end networking between, the cloud and in our on-premises. Yes, that falls here in networking. Now coming to storage, what are the type of object storages, block storages, what type of storages should we use and in what situation we should use which storage has a high IOPS, which storage has a less latency. So everything about the storage, how to do RAID. Also RAID is not a part of this, but I will make sure that you guys understand how to configure RAID architecture in Windows and Linux. At least end of this course, you should be nowhere different than a storage admin or a Linux admin. Okay, moving on to database. Database is also offered as an infrastructure as a service. So what we have been discussing in the first module of this course in DBaaS is nothing but we're talking about the PaaS module. So platform as a service under which database is available, we are talking about that. So that course is nothing but called as a Oracle Cloud for the DBAs. But the database that is part of the IaaS offerings is basically something different. We are going to talk about it in a more detail. Now coming back to security, yes, of course, we will talk about the security as well. And we will have containers, fast connect, and edge services, where we will not be talking in a great detail, but yes, we will go through a little high level of these three topics, and we will see how it goes. Similar way, moving on to the SaaS offerings. On a platform as a service offering, we have data management. So this is where we falls basically, our uh, DBaaS falls under this data management. I will show you more detail once we will go through the first level of practical today. Maybe tomorrow slides, we will see what differences falls under data management, how it is different. Where does big data comes? Where does MySQL comes? Where is all these things comes? Where is the business analytic comes? So I will give you like what falls under each topic of this PaaS offerings. So, anyways, let us not jump into more on the theories like what is IS, PaaS, SaaS, all that things will kill your mind. Let us jump up to the cloud first thing. Okay. So here I'm just going to a very starting point. I'm just opening a new Chrome browser. I'm simply saying cloud.oracle.com. Okay. I'm just simply saying cloud.oracle.com. We can simply go ahead and click on the sign in button. Okay, here we had a Datanza 01 is what the cloud account name we have given. We are clicking on next. Okay, here I have logged in. So this looks very straightforward for me. And you can see 391 of SGT 400 is there. If I want to see what has been consumed about $9, we can get to know about it. That I will show you later. Before that, we can just go ahead to account management, and in that we can see my admin accounts. So those who wants to make a note of it, they can make it, or it's also fine. We have these four and admin accounts over here. The very first account is nothing but, if you see the URL, it starts with my services. Okay, it starts with my services. Make sure it clearly says this is nothing but the same location where you land up. That is your cloud.oracle.com. That is your entry level point. Cloud.Ravelo Systems is altogether a different entity from all these three. Okay, this, and this. For these three things, you can reset the password once, and the same password will work here, it will work here, it will work here. But for Ravelo systems, you would need to have a different framework altogether. So, what do I mean to say? You have to have a different login credentials for Ravelo. Though the username is same, okay, the initial password is also same, but it is a different account. So, I would suggest you keep Ravelo password as the different, then compared to these three things. Okay, so Ravelo is a different concept altogether. Ravelo Oracle acquired, when after Oracle decided to invest in Oracle Cloud, Oracle acquired a company called as Ravelo Systems with some $500 million. It's a cloud startup company. It does nothing but it takes a replica of your VMware and VirtualBox, and that replica is easily be migrated to these Ravelo systems. So basically, your KVM or VMware load, if a company is running 140 small applications in VMware and they want to migrate all of them at once to something like that, so Ravelo helps you over there. So that's little out of scope throughout both these courses, but yes, let us understand it has got a different set of credentials altogether. So the remaining three have a same set of credentials. Guys, just give me a 2 minutes break. I'm just gonna have a small medicine, though I'm online. Just give me a 2 minutes break. Okay, guys, I'm sorry for the break. Okay, so what I was talking about that my services, okay, that is basically the central place. That is where we would be going to log in, and we are going to talk about this. My services is the central place to log in, and there are two more things that you can make a note of it. One is basically a compute OCI users. That is your standard Oracle compute infrastructure. Okay, that is nothing but your standard Oracle cloud infrastructure. Okay, not compute infrastructure. That usually comes as with console dot your region or the default region that is assigned to you. So that is where you get this, and you also get a link for the current users. So current users is where you can have most of your PaaS applications. So you can avail most of the platform as a services from this current users. That is the last URL. Okay, and from the OCI users, compute OCI users URL, you can access to the cloud infrastructure components that we would be using as part of the IAS thing. So we will see. Let us copy these URLs and see how they works and how they look like and what is the difference between them when we compare the same thing with the My Services Cloud account.
Soumya, Soumya, it's not audible, Soumya.
Okay, it is audible now, I think. Yeah, is it audible now, guys?
Soumya, again, I mean, right now, I can hear you.
Yeah, is it audible now?
Now audible. So,
Okay, okay. Let me repeat what I was trying to say is, seems like I spoke a lot, but it was on mute, it seems. Okay, let me repeat whatever we have done. What I was trying to say is, okay, so this is the first thing. Like, I first copied this current users. Okay, I first copied this current users. This link I have copied. Okay, and I'm pasting this link onto this browser. So that is nothing but landing me up into this page. This page says Oracle Cloud My Services, and below that it says Compute Classic. Okay, so don't worry about this. What is Compute Classic? This would change it to hundreds of many more things. Okay, it can change to Database Classic, it can change to Analytics, it can change to hundreds of things. So, how do we come there? We will see that. So, this is Cloud My Services portal. Okay, what is the difference? We will see. So this is the old way of doing the things, or you can also consider this as a classic mode, which we had earlier. Or we have two things, right? One is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, one is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Classic. So you can consider this as a classic also, Oracle Cloud My Services. Now there is another URL that is nothing but compute OCI users. Compute OCI users. When I copied this and I'm pasting this onto the another URL, so that's where I'm landing up to this location. Okay, so this location is nothing but it says it's Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Initially, it has a look little different, or little. It seems like it is not an advanced page, but yes, this is the advanced things. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is where your advanced things are available, like your different type of storages, like what type of network things we can do. Okay, what type of bare metal VM and Exadata is available? What is autonomous data warehouse is available? Okay, identity security. So these are all things we are going to cover down under the IaaS module, infrastructure as a service module. So till then we are not coming there. We are not doing much of the things into this Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I would suggest you follow the sections as we go through the class. And if you are clear enough, then I would suggest you jump to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, then start doing. If you don't get yourself clarified onto this my services, then you would lead to little confusion. So what I'm trying to say is there is two portals that you have. One is a Quarante that says Cloud My Services. Second is nothing but OCI. So Quarante, OCI, Quarante, OCI, Quarante, and OCI. Quarante you can refer as OCI Classic or My Services. This is your OCI, standard OCI. That's all. Okay. So this both link to this two thing, both of it, you can actually get from your central looking your first entry point. That is nothing but your first entry point is cloud.oracle.com. So cloud.oracle.com usually or by default lands you up into this Cloud My Services page only. So this page and this page is nothing but under the same domain. So when you saw about three different IDs over here, my admin accounts, this first one cloud account and the second one, the current users, both is actually running on the same domain ideally. Okay. So this cloud account and this current users, wherever you go, you would land up to the same Oracle Cloud My Services page. Okay, that is fine. Let us go back to the dashboard. Okay, let us go back to the dashboard. Let us understand it as a three things. So I would consider wherever my dashboard is coming, that is my cloud.oracle.com. This is where I have logged in. Okay, this is my current URL. This is my OCI URL, or this is my current or OCI Classic. Okay, so this is where I have logged in, and this is where OCI URL I have logged in. But the same to these two targets, I can also log in from my services. How do I log in there? I would go to database. Okay. Again, I'm saying, how do I do? On my cloud.oracle.com, I go to the dashboard. From dashboard on the top left corner menu, I click on the services, click on the drop down of the services. Oh, here I see a lot of things is there. Autonomous data warehouse. So depending on the link, this all links doesn't belong to either current A or either OCI. Some of them belong to OCI, some of them belong to current A. So some links you click on, it will go to current A. Some links you click, that will go to your OCI. For example, if you talk about these things, database classic and a database classic and a database. So if I'll click on the database classic, it will stay on the my services portal and it will allow you to create a database. Let me open in a new tab. And if I'll open this database into a new tab, it will take you to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. You see, this is the database tab, which is taking you to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And this is nothing but you are staying under Cloud My Services only. That is nothing but you have a Oracle Database Cloud Service here. Okay. Again, I'm closing this too. I'm going to show you the similar difference between another component. I'm coming back to services, coming back to services, coming down, scrolling down. Okay. Now, what else I have that I can show you? So anything, you click on the Compute Classic. Okay, we will see how where it goes. You click on Compute Classic, open a new tab. See, it is ideally dropping you to the same Cloud My Services. This is nothing but the page is quite similar to the same page where I'm landing here right now. That is nothing but this is also Compute Classic. This is also the same page. The only difference here it is instances clicked, here it is network is clicked. Let me click on the instances. So here you could see it is like both are like quite the same thing. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is this classic things, whenever you click on them, they would land up to the same basically, the same my services page. This is where you can create a Compute Classic, or you can have a database classic. You can create a database thing. You can go ahead create a cloud platform as a service database. Now if you click on this database, this is somewhat different. This is quite similar to what we had in the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So that is nothing but this one. So this is nothing but cloud infrastructure. You go to menu, you go to the database. See, this is what it is coming. Okay, so this is nothing but I'm going back here. This is also coming the same thing. Hopefully this gives you clarity now. Okay, so we can reach out to this Oracle Classic Cloud Infrastructure URL, and we can reach out to this Oracle Database Cloud My Services portal or Current portal, both portals from the one point of login, that is your cloud.oracle.com. So you don't need to confuse what you need to achieve. Now, let me close everything that I have opened. Okay, this too is only open. Now one cloud infrastructure is what I have. Here I have compute, and here I have my cloud, my services. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Fine, let me remove this dashboard. Now, what we are trying. So, when we talk about the course, Oracle Database as a Service, or we spoke about creating a database deployment, we are referring to this current portal. Okay, we are referring to the database which is offered under Platform as a Service, so called as a database as a service. In this section, we are going to create a database deployment. The database deployment, in order to create, we'll have to go to log into cloud.oracle.com, go to your menu, click on the My Services. Okay, you click on the Services button, scroll down, and you'll end up with something called as a Database Classic page. So click on this Database Classic page. I just opened in a new window. Okay. Now let us say you don't want a Database Classic, you just want a simple compute with a particular Linux. You can go for Compute Classic. So let us not jumble all together. We would say Oracle Database Cloud Services. Okay, so when you click on the Database Classic, you are landed up to this Oracle Database Cloud Services. It says there is only one instance, one CPU, 7.5 GB memory. This is the storage, one IP. Okay, whatever all these things is different. Like day before yesterday, 2 days back, I created this instance. just to see any change options are there. Yes, of course, there has been some changes. There has been some bugs are still coming out. We will see that if you come into it. But yes, I did create an instance. As I told you, you would get the latest out of the cloud. So I've been trying everything before I come and deliver to you as well, because it's no traditional Oracle database that I can tell you everything. Even honestly, there is a book available in Amazon, okay, for Oracle DBaaS, Oracle for the DBAs, okay, that talks about only this database cloud service only. But the many things those were written out there in those book has been changed. Forget about the book. Now even in Oracle Cloud documentation also, would find a lot of screenshots, a lot of instructions, a lot of menus, but those things are no more available in the cloud actually. So the website is changing so fastly, the clouds and the books are no more following up. So that is the reason there are not many books for the Oracle Cloud if you see in the market. Because as it is evolving so fast, changing the books so fast is also a bigger task. Okay. Anyways, so we will just simply try to create an instance. So what we have discussed, when we talk about instance in Oracle database, what is instance? Asant, what is Oracle instance? Oracle database instance.
That is SDA plus background process.
Exactly. So that's nothing but some sort of background process, and the memory is what altogether we call as an instance. Here, when we talk about an instance, though the name is used synonymously, synonymously, but here, when we talk about one instance, it has something more things to it. So this instance is nothing but also called as a database deployment. Let me click on create an instance. You would see what all components comes inside. Okay. So instance details and confirm. This page looks very simple. Okay. You give an instance name. Here I'm giving DVCS02. Okay. You give some description. Trust me, there is something called as a region. Okay. This region was not available to me 2 days back when I was trying to do that, create the DBCS01. So if you find anything such, discrepancies, all I had to do to come back to this region menu was I logged out, I cleared up my cookies, and I started it up back. That's all I have done. Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if either one or two menus is missing out of this place, so basically, what you do is you log out, clear the cookies, and come back, and you will get it back. So that is the kind of sort of bug that I have seen. Development to DB classic, something like that. I'm just giving some descriptions, some notification emails. Region, the difference you would see between the regions is, let me give it, something GB South. Okay, so I'm just giving another region, that's all. Okay, so tags is nothing but you can go ahead and give some tags. Tags are quite useful, especially when you want to give some comments. So I can give it something like that: development DB classic 02. So usually how we should give is basically organization name hyphen dev stage prod hyphen the node name. That's how you should be giving a tag. So that would help you to search the machines. Okay. Now my organization already owns a Oracle database software license. So this is only in the case when you plan to intend to migrate your existing database environment to cloud. So this is where you're planning for this. So that's nothing but you have to bring your own license. So bring your own license in the sense you already have a license for your own premises. You can utilize the same license for your Oracle Cloud. Of course, your organization has to talk to their account manager on the pricing point of view, whatever they have, whatever they don't have. But yes, it is possible. Or else you can certainly go ahead and subscribe for a new Oracle database software license that would be billed to you either on an hourly basis or a monthly basis. That is also feasible. If you are trying to do a new software testing or application testing or development, you can go ahead with this, test your application, you're done 3 months, you don't need it anymore, you can scrap it. That's how simple as it is. Okay, so let us go with anything is fine. I'm good with anything. Where we have 4 options: 11 release 2, 12 release 1, 2, and 18C. Okay, those guys haven't tried with 18C. You got tried here. Okay, let me choose any option is fine. 12C release to Enterprise Edison. Okay, here we got the four options: high performance, extreme performance, database type. Here is the key. See, when you click on the single instance, database rack is not available. Single instance with data guard is available. Data guard with standby and hybrid DR is available, but data guard with clustering is not available. So what I am seeing here is clustering is not available. Why is it happening? So as I told you, this database type is solely depending on the type of region that you are using. Okay, if I change my region to, let's say, Frankfurt, I could certainly see a difference in between this uh, database type. So the moment I'm changing my region, it is asking under that you have availability domains also. So don't panic about this. What is availability zone and region? I would be clarifying between these regions and availability zones. Okay, availability zones is nothing but like your fail groups. Okay, so basically, what is a region? A region is nothing but, as you could see, I have enrolled for EMEA reason, right? When I setting up the account, if you remember, I enrolled for EMEA account. So under EMEA, there is three regions: is there Frankfurt, somewhere in Europe common, somewhere in London. Okay, so Frankfurt, Europe, and London. There are three database, regions are there. So three regions in the sense, if you are close, if you are staying somewhere near to Berlin or from Munich, you can go ahead and choose Frankfurt. If you are somewhere based out of London, you can choose for the GBcom. If you are certainly based out somewhere in Paris, or geographically I'm talking about, if you are based out of some Paris or some other place, you can certainly go for EU common. So what does it mean? A region is nothing but a simple data center only. But when you click on a particular region, it has something called as a availability domain. So it has three availability domains under Frankfurt: availability domain 1, availability domain 2, availability domain 3. In AWS and Azure, we call it as availability zones. Okay. Here we call it as availability domains. So what does it mean by AD1, AD2, AD3? So AD1 is a data center, might be having 1000 servers, 1000 terabyte of RAM, 1000 terabyte of storage, and 1000 GB of RAM, and some 1000 CPUs. A minimum similar or more than that replica is present in either AD2 or AD3. Okay, so what does it mean? Let me click on AD1. Okay, let me click on AD1. It is asking for a subnet. Okay, we will discuss about the network subnet later. Let me click on the no preferences. Now you see the database type. You can see this data guard is also gone. You have only single instance provisioning is possible. Not even rack, not even data guard is also possible. Okay, let me try to change between AD2 and AD3. See if that does makes a difference. Okay, let's see. It is also not making a difference. Let me try with the AD3. So AD1, AD2, AD3, all these three things doesn't support. So what does it mean? All these availability domains inside Frankfurt do not support your data guard or rack. So if I go to region, something else like EU common, okay, certainly I don't get availability domain. So what does it mean? In EU common, there is only one data center is there. There is no availability domain. So there is a small potential risk is there. What is that, If you create your data center, if you create your database in Frankfurt, okay, and if you choose it to be availability domain 1, AD1, and if there is a disaster happens in AD1, then your database is available from AD2. Okay, if your availability domain 1 is completely crashed, you can have your database available from AD2. You can set up a fail group there. Okay, so it is irrespective of standby database I'm talking about. Okay, so inside one region, they got three more data centers, and between the data centers, they are mostly replicas, and this availability domains ensure that database can be brought up, or the whole instance can be brought up if one availability domain is also crashed. So it is good. You go ahead and put it in Frankfurt. It is also okay. You go ahead and put it up anywhere else. So again, more about the regions and availability domains. We are going to discuss more on this. So what I was trying to say is, depending on your region, your database type availability varies. So that is the whole objective out of talking on this. Am I clear to everyone so far, or any questions? I'm assuming you all guys are clear about the region and the database type is what we have.
Yes, Soumya, have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
In cluster database, we can create only 2 nodes.
Right.
Why it is restricting to 2?
So that again depends, that is depends on the data center and their region availability. Okay, so it is altogether about their capacity. There is no reasons as such.
Okay.
Okay. So if maybe database would have been, Oracle would have been have a maybe big data center like AWS possibly could have offered you more. So that is the main reason they have come up with, restricted amount of Oracle editions. They have come out with, restricted amount of database types. So that is the whole reason for having only 2 nodes available. Okay. So does that answer you, Prasant?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So the whole motive behind spending so much of time over here, the change in the region is change in your database type. Every database type may not available in your region. So being a database cloud architect, before committing to your management or customer, make sure you double check the customer's region before creating a database. There is a big meeting happens with the customers, your manager or VP asks you, boss, hey, Venu or Banji, can we do this? Can we put up a cluster on the cloud? You would say, yeah, definitely we can go ahead and do it. But suddenly you could realize that, in the region it is not supported. You go back to the customer, the customer will give you back hard. So better to check these things because this is how it is still evolving. So you never know, maybe after a month of time in Frankfurt and EU Common, you would have 3 different availability zones with rack support as well. So rack support doesn't only require, the number of systems to be available. It requires your public network, private network, dedicated network. And apart from all this network, they would need a failover for all this network. They would need redundancy on this. So the infrastructure wise, they would need to invest a lot out of it. Okay, so they are doing it slowly they are growing. Hopefully they grows very fast. Okay, so by default, it creates a container or the database name is ORCL and it creates a PDB1. You can customize that name. It asks you for a system password. Here you can give anything. I'm giving welcome underscore 1234. Here I'm giving welcome underscore 1234 because we have the password sensitivity rules. Okay, usable database storage. I'm not choosing anything. You can see 50 is there. Total data file storage is 217. Estimated monthly storage is 280. So what is this 3 factors that we will understand? The storage is a little complication here at the initial level of understanding. So let us first understand how to create a database instance and how to log into them. And slowly we will start with understanding this. What is this usable size? How to change it and all that thing. Okay. Now compute a SAP. So these are the standard computing SAPs that is available. That is 2 Oracle CPUs, 15 GB RAM, 4 Oracle CPUs, 30 GB RAM, 8 Oracle CPUs, 60 GB RAM. So whatever you want, you can go ahead and choose out of it. Okay. And this is where you got it. Now for the backup, it says backup and recovery configuration. We have both cloud storage. We have only cloud storage only. We have none. We would go for none only. Why? Because if I do here something else and we'll just continue, that doesn't look much clarifying or promising. So I'm going to choose it none. After we do a couple of practices, we are going to configure this backup recovery completely for the database. So we will find the instance where backup is not configured. We create the cloud storage, we create a local storage, we configure everything. Then we would, land up this page. Okay. Create an instance from an existing backup? No, we don't have these things now. We will do it after again 3-4 more lessons. We'll do it. Now coming back to this SSH public key. What is this public key? Did you guys ever done a rack? And are you all guys comfortable with SSH, RSA, generating SSH, RSA and DSA keys? Anji, have you ever done that? Creating SSH passwordless communication between two nodes?
Yeah, yeah, Soumya. Yeah.
Okay. So
Normally, it's the connection between the multiple nodes, like if you have multi-node environment.
right. Okay. So Suresh, Venu, you are all good, right? Well, you understand how does the SSH works. If not, please just let me know.
Yeah, yeah, we know. This is-
Okay. Prasant, you are also good, right?
Soumya, this
Yeah.
PD name is, I mean, this is the instance name or what?
This is, see, have you, like, this is just a PDB name, a default PDB name that you have to give, that it will create it by default.
P means what is the standard for? Process or what?
PDB is the pluggable database.
Pluggable data.
This is the multi-tenant feature. OSL is the container database, and PDB1 is the pluggable database. Once this environment is created, you can log into OSL and you can create multiple PDBs, PDB2, PDB3, PDB5. Like how you create users, similar way you can create multiple users. This is the 12C multi-tenant feature.
Okay. Okay.
Somewhere down the line, once we cover a good amount of this cloud topics, I will give you a small overview on multi-tenancy, how it works. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a pluggable database name, but if you want to use this as a normal database, you can consider about the OSL as the database name, and we can start off with. Okay. Now, what is this SSH publicly? Now, there is something we would need to do it. Okay. See, there are many ways you can set up this SSH public key. What is this? SSH public key is based on the SSH protocol. Okay. Usually, you connect to a computer using PuTTY or anything. You use a protocol called as the SSH protocol. So every computer, every user has a different set of private keys and public keys. Okay, everybody has a different set of private keys and public keys. So what you can do is, if you don't know anything about this, you can simply go ahead, create a new key. Okay, you can simply create a new key. So when you create a new key, it will ask you to download a private key and a public key that you will use to log in. Otherwise, I can also use something called as a pre-generated file name or pre-generated key. What is this pre-generated key? On my Windows desktop, where I'm doing this exercise or training right now, over there, I created my own SSH key. So it doesn't matter whether Windows or Linux, you can have your SSH equivalence keys. So what is this keys I will show you? I'll click on the choose file. I'll go to the documents. Here I can see, I have everything here. sam_pub_key.pub. So this is my public key I have created. So how did I created this file? I will show you how did we do this. So at the end of this, I will show you how did I created this public key. Okay. Now I'm clicking on the advanced settings. If you want to change your listener port and all that, you want to enable Golden Gate. Okay, you want to include some demo databases onto this pluggable database. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, any IP changes? Yes. But let us stick to this. Let us keep with the default values. We are done with this. Click on next. This just takes some time. See, guys, I don't know how you guys are making a note out of this session. I would trust you make a small note, either in Notepad, or I would prefer you do it in a pen and note, so that that will give you the place where actually important. You could feel it, and would be in your mind. Why I'm telling so? See, there is a best practices for this SSH. Okay, here I will be teaching how I'm doing this. Okay, here I will teach you the simpler way how you would do this. But there is a little complex way how you would do it when the real organization. For example, when I was working in Oracle OPC, I used to do something for the customer. So for customer, also I used to follow this thing. The way we are going to generate my key, we are going to follow the same thing for a customer. We are going to tell customer, boss, if you have 4 DBAs who want to access your Oracle public cloud, ask this for users to get me their SSH key so that they can access it. Okay. So anyways, so that we will come when the important part comes. I would say industry best practices. Make a note of it. Huh? That would be part of your interview. That would be part of your real work. Okay. So here it is just a summary of what all things has been done, what we have created. So everything is out here. Okay. So I'm just now simply creating, going and creating and clicking on create button. We are good. It's gonna take some time. It is. Now this is the worst and pathetic part out of it. I don't know whether the instance is created or not. It just logged me out. Maybe I have taken a lot of time. So it changed a lot of page. It could have asked me, at least to log in earlier than that, but it asked me at the later. So this happens a lot of time. So I'm just simply like, I don't know what this, I call it as a bug or what. I mean, the moment it got some timed out, it should thrown me out, but it did not do. At the end, it thrown me out. So that's what I didn't expect it. Okay, that's fine. So likewise, a lot of small bugs you would come across. So don't worry. Okay, you have to use hyphens here or comma here. It won't accept with sentences. Okay, I'm keeping everything as like this. List 2. I'm keeping as a single instance. That's fine. I'm clicking on next. Here I'm giving password. Welcome underscore 1234 underscore 1234. Okay, keeping everything the same. Clicking as a none. Assigning SSH public key. Choose a file. Use a SAM public key and enter. Clicking on next. Okay, here it comes. The database cloud service instance creation request was accepted. It is saying it is going to create an instance. For me, it has taken up to at least 30 minutes to 40 minutes for changing the creating instance status to like 12.102 or 12.201. Okay. So in order to show me it is ready, if you click inside this, see there is in progress icon is here. The service instance is being created. Here it says this is already created. Click the view to details. Okay, so here if you see it says the status is ready. So in order to get this ready status, it has taken up almost 30 minutes for me. You guys also try and let me know how much time it shows to you. Okay. See how long does it take? It's saying creating instance. Okay, if we'll come down, it is in progress, provisioning messages, IP. So everything is taking time. It's gonna take about let's say some time. So we would not wait till the time it is doing. So since it has taken 30 to 40 minutes of time, that was my whole intention that I kept this instance ready so that I can go ahead and show it to you. Okay, so while this instance creation is in progress, let it go on. Maybe end of our session, this instance might be ready. We will try to use it. So once this instance is ready, you can go inside and keep checking the status. Once it will say your SSH public keys has been added, and below you will get a status. How you will get a status? Let us go back and come down to this DBCS02. Here you will see at the below it is keep on telling the okay, it is having some failed, not found OPC request ID this, initiating database service termination, skipping delete backups for database. Since the request parameter for okay, this is something new messages I have been seeing. Okay, we will wait till then. Okay, whether it is a message that I should be worried of or not, I'm not sure. So we'll wait. So this is where you will get the status. Okay, as long as the status is not reflected, we will wait. Okay, so once the status comes to ready, we will wait. And once that is gone, there could be some issues, I'm not sure. Okay, so meanwhile, let us try with this thing and we will try to create another instance afterwards. Or let me just try creating another one and see if the error is same. If it is same, certainly I would like to, delete all the instances and create. There could be a limitation I would need to check. But yes, last time when I did, there does not seems to be any limitations. DBC023, Dev. I'm using a different region. Let's say I don't need a tag. Okay, it also is one. Okay, by this time instance is getting created. We'll try to log into the old instance and see how things work out. And if it doesn't create this one also, we'll try to drop both of the instances and see by creating one only. Okay, so this is the confirmation page. It's fine. Okay. Once you guys try this section, just let me know the feedback tomorrow. Is this really running the same pace for you or is it only me? Yeah?
Yeah, sure, Soumya, tomorrow. Today
Yeah.
we'll finish, and what about this SS public key, the SAM pub?
That I'll show you. Let this page pass through. I will show you. Okay. So what I was so the cloud service instance request was accepted. Okay, it is creating an instance. Okay, let us see if this instance goes into error. We will see. We'll try to drop both of it and try to create. Okay. So again, I was trying to create it in same data center also. So I don't know what could be the restriction. Okay, so we will see what was the reason. So this is where we will get the status. So note whenever the status is SSH has been added, okay, SSH public keys has been added to the server, that is the moment onwards you can start using it. So though it still says the status is creating instance, because it will show you creating instance status for at least 30 to 40 minutes, then it will come to ready state. So meanwhile, I will show you the other instance which is already in ready state. I just opened this instance. Okay, so this is the instance and it has everything added here. Now here you can see there is a public IP here. You got me? I'm copying this public IP. Note this. I'm going to do the SSH thing. Okay, I'm going to do this public IP. Look at this instructions right now very clearly. If you don't understand, let me know. I copied the public IP. I've copied the public IP. The standard username that you would always need to log into Oracle Public Cloud is OPC. Okay, and this thing, and the private key you should be having. So private key or public key is something. One thing we have already uploaded to the server. Now, what is that? We have uploaded the public key, and we would need a relevant private key for that. So, for the same reason, I have already done what I have done. I have created a private key here. I have created a public key of my own. So, what I will use is I will show you how do I use it. I will use this private key. Okay, I will use this private key to log into the server. Now, why this private key will work? Because this public key and private key was generated by me using a Puttigen software. Okay, so public key I have already uploaded while creating the instance, and this private key I will use it while connecting it. Okay, so I am going back now. These two pieces of information plus I need private key, the respective private key whose public key is already present, whose public key is already uploaded to the instances. So how do I do it? I will go to Putty. In Putty, I will put the IP address first. I will put the instance name as DBCS01. Okay, for example, I'm trying to save it. I'm just giving the host name as this. Okay, in the session, I'm giving host name as this. Come down slowly. Under connections tab, click on data. In data, auto login username you have to give as OPC. Come down to SSH tab. Come down to auth, AUTH. Don't expand auth. Just click on the auth. Over here, you see private key. Browse sam underscore prev underscore key ppk dot ppk. These three things of information I gave. Come back to session. Session, I gave the IP address. I gave some name through which I will save it. Then come down to connection data. In data, I gave the auto login username. Come down to SSH auth. In auth, I gave the private key for the authentication. Okay, now I'm coming back to session. I'm clicking on save. So the moment I clicked on save, the DBCS01 is stored. So what does it mean? If I'll cancel the putty, if I'll launch putty again, this would be stored there, this configuration. So I don't need to get this always. So I'll click on DBCS, click on load, you will see the IPS came, the name is came. Okay, the connection data has came up OPC. Your SSH auth key is also pointing to private key. So all the settings are saved. Okay, so once you save it, you just simply come here, double click, then you should be able to log in. See how cool it happened. Okay, is it better now? Now here you can see cat/etc/passwd. See, Oracle user is there. ps-ef 5 grape pmon. Yeah, we have OASL user. Okay. Sudo su hyphen enter. So I got logged into root. Exit. From OPC user, you can log into anywhere. Oracle user. Okay. So here also you don't need to set your environment variable. It is all set. You can simply say SQL plus /SSDBA. You are good. Okay. Here you can say so parameter PDB. So parameter PDBs, I think. Okay, here it is. So PDBs. Okay, so here is the public pluggable database. Name is PDB1. This is the database name. Select name from V database. Okay, so V dollar. So this is fine, right? You got it clear. Now I'm going back to show you how do we generated this private and public key. Note this point, and everybody make sure you send me on email your own public key to me, not private key. Okay. Make a note. You all guys have to send your public key to me. So what will happen is I will show you a way for this database. I can add your public key. So what will happen? You can also connect to this database directly. So with internet and with this IP, with your public keys added to it, you should be able to connect it directly. Okay. We will do such interactive actions. Trust me, nobody does such kind of practical, but we will do it. And this is what you should be doing. Okay. If you are part of Oracle OPC, or for example, there is Accenture, for example, I am, managing at a customer site and the OPC logins are with me. So I log into their Oracle public cloud site like this, and tomorrow they hired, for example, Accenture. They hired some, PwC, some company. Now they wanted to access the database server. So when they asked, give us access, so I asked them the first thing, boss, I'll give you the public IP, and you have to give me your public SSH public key. So give me your name, your public key, your employee ID, and then I will give you the IP. That's all. So what you will do is you have to download another software called as a PuttyGen. Okay, PuttyGen is nothing but see, if you see Putty, okay, there is a putty.zip you can download. There you have Putty, PSCP, P-Link, PGent, and you have something called as a PuttyGen. You can double click it. I have already extracted these files, so I can simply say PuttyGen. So when you say PuttyGen, what will happen? Using this, you can generate your own SSH for Windows. Okay, if you are running, is anybody running Ubuntu on your system? Anyone? Ubuntu or Linux as a desktop? No one, right? I believe everybody is running Windows.
Yeah.
No, no, Soumya.
Okay. In case anybody is using Unix or Linux, let me know. Linux, Unix, we don't use PuttyGen. We have different set of commands to generate this. So this is only applicable for Windows, and these are the steps you must be keeping within yourself. So you should be sending it to Accenture, boss. How many DBAs you want the access to OPC? You follow this document. The document contains nothing but what I'm going to show you right now. So generate a public or private key pair. You click on generate. Now it says generate some randomness by removing the mouse here. Okay, some randomness by moving the mouse. Okay, so this helps to basically capture some of the numbers, values, and then using some algorithms, it generates this value. You got this thing done now. Now there is two things. One is your private key, one is your public key. Okay, but before you click on generate, you should have to keep in mind two things. This bit number should be 2048, and this should be selected on RSA. It should not be selected on SSH1 RSA. This is the older protocol. If you go and read in the Oracle documentation also, it says SSH-2 RSA. But here you do not see SSH-2 RSA. 2 RSA is also used about a year back. So that is what I told you, right? The document hasn't updated with every screenshot or every terms. But in market there has been a lot of changes. So the latest protocol is RSA. This supports SSH-2 protocol. So click on this RSA. Make sure this is 2048. Then click generate. Shake your mouse on the screen. It is telling. After some time you get the screen appeared. Now once the screen is appeared, you can see this is showing your public key. Public key for pasting into open SSH authorized keys file. So whatever it says, the instruction, it says this is my public key. This is my public key. So I can copy this whole public key, right click copy. Make sure while copying you do not give extra space. Open a notepad. Paste this. Make sure you do not press enter here. Okay, do not give space. Simply save the file. Now save the file Soumya underscore public underscore key. Give it dot pub extension. I'm putting a double quote so that it doesn't take this dot txt. Okay, it will be dot pub only. Soumya underscore public key dot pub. This is my public key, my dear. I'm copying and pasting it. This is also possible. This public key, I can go ahead and say save public key. I can also say Soumya underscore public key 1 dot pub. Okay, या फिर automatic save dot pub. Okay, so this way and that way, copying paste both doesn't have a differences on it. But sometimes there is a problem happens. What is that problem happens is, if I'll click open this, see, this is the auto file. This is the public key which I have generated. See this. You see there is a small difference between both the auto-generated file and the file which I have copied and pasted. Okay. So sometimes some putty servers, they don't accept this format. Sometimes they don't accept this. Sorry, everybody accept this. So this with this comment and all these things, some people don't accept it. Okay. So anyways, whatever the thing is basically, so you have copied and pasted manually. This is perfectly fine. You save one automatic, you copy and paste one also. You keep it for both sides. So this is your public key is done. Now private key, you click here, save private key. Are you sure you want to save this key without a passphrase to protect it? For now, you can say yes. Once you are getting more comfortable after 10-15 days, you generate a new key by giving some key passphrase. So passphrase is, for example, you give here ABC 1 2 3 4. That is nothing but some extra salt to your security. That will put you some, more complex way to, crack your password. So we can give a password, but yes, fine. We'll continue without this password now. Now, what is that .ppk file? See, this is where the ppk file is being generated. Now, it was all Soumya underscore public key pub. I'm just going to change it back to Soumya underscore private key .ppk. I hope you are getting the steps cleared one by one. Soumya underscore private key, public key. Now I generated 3 set of keys, 2 public keys, 1 private key. Now I will close this. Okay. Now, any doubt, guys? Now you got 3 things: public key, private key. So 2 public keys you generated and 1 private key. Any doubt on this? Public keys you have to upload whenever you create a cloud component, whenever you create a cloud database, cloud computing machine, or of course these two, either bare metal, virtual cloud, whatever it is. Whenever you create a computer or you create a database machine or you create a database cloud deployment, it will ask you for the SSH. So that time you have to upload this, public key. If you don't do this, there is a default one came up, right? Create a new one. So if you keep on creating a new one, you cannot drag them up. Okay, so this is the reason. Everybody who needs an access to this, you gather his details, you ask him to supply his public key and ask him to log in using his private key. That's all. Okay, so you should not be giving your private key to somebody. You should be giving your only public key. Private key is very much private as your password. Okay. Now this 2 instance is running. Let us see with the DBCS023 what it is happening. See, SSS access to VM is succeeded, but it still says it is creating instance. So let me try to poke this and see if we are able to log into this or not. Okay, so how do I test it? Whether I am able to log into this? Click on this, find out the IP, find out the public IP. Where is the public IP? Scroll it down. Here you can see 16. Hey, what is my existing password? It is also 16. Let me close this. DBCS01 is, oh, it is 116.16. We have something called as a, oh, sorry. What is the IP here? 78.16. Okay, this is, okay, I'll put it here, 78.16. Okay, I'll give you a DBCS023. I'll click on save. Okay, session is this. Connection data is OPC. Okay, SSS authentication is nothing but SAM private key. Perfectly okay. I'll go back here, come back here. DBCS023. I saved it. Okay, open it. Let's see if I'm able to log in. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I'm able to log in. Uptime, yeah, it's uptime. It is up since 11 minutes only. So it got created 11 minutes back only. Oracle. So does you have an Oracle. Pimon. Wow, the database is not started, huh? See, that is why it is still saying it is creating the instance. See, it takes a lot of time to create your database, create your listeners, create your environment, so everything's set. Though we just see that, the SSH has got created and we logged into server. That's all we did, but it is still creating. It haven't created anything yet. Okay. So guys, you got clarity up to this much or any doubt on this? Will you all guys be able to generate your own putty? Public key now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay, let us start doing that. Everybody logging to your Windows machine, open your putty gen, get your public key and give it to me. I will show you how do we go ahead and assign new public keys to it. I was about to show that, but rather I would show it on my ID only. I would do it, you're adding your public key. You show your screen whether you are able to log into this or not.
Okay.
Anyone, send me your public key. You can paste it in the chat box, but one by one. I mean, it's fine. Before pasting it, you put some dash, and within double dash you put, or within double star you put.
Absent, Soumya. My
Okay.
public key.
Okay, great. This is Suresh public key, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. How does this works? Remove the extra lines. Okay. Let me try to save it. I would say Suresh underscore public underscore key dot pub. Okay, double quote. I will provide it in the double quotes. Okay, fine. Okay, let us see, guys, whether this works or not. If you guys have generated your keys, keep it safe. We will go ahead and keep on adding further. But let us see one demo how does this works or not. Okay. So Suresh, you have put in everything ready, right? You can try it once we are done with this. Yes, Suresh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, chalo, great. So I'm just going back onto this thing. Now see, try to understand here, focus for 2 minutes here. What you can see here, Oracle Database Cloud Services 2. 2 means what? 2 platform as a service. You have taken whole database cloud service, subscription. Subscription in the sense, you have taken a package, you have taken a bundle, you have taken a platform. The platform includes some storage, RAM, memory, operating system, and a database. Okay, but ultimately this is also instance, this is also a compute instance, right? Because it also has a computing, it also has a CPU, right? So it is also considered as a compute instance. So what does it mean? If you go to compute classic screen, you would see the same computers are available here also. Okay, so this is nothing but the same menu. You can get it from dashboard, from your services. If you scroll down, you click on compute classic, you will also land up on the same place. Okay, so not same place, this is a database cloud service page, this is a compute classic page. Okay, so here you will see the total number of instances that you have and total number of CPUs, memories, storages that you have been using. Okay, now you can see DBCS 01, 023. 023, though it is showing running, but it is still creation is under progress. But let me create DBCS 01. Note this thing, this would be very important. Okay, SSH public keys. Okay, So SSH public keys. So this is where we are going to add some of the SSH public keys. I'll show you. Just give me a moment. Compute Classic. Sorry. Okay, SSH access. Okay, DBCS01. So here I'm going to click on a add new key. Okay, upload a new SSH public key value, choose file. I'm going to give as a Suresh public key, open, add new key. Yes. Okay, SSH key has been accepted for DBCS01. So now what we will do is, now Suresh is going to share his screen and we will see whether he is able to log in or not. But just wait for a minute of time. We will see this, this in progress button is cleared as long as we would proceed. Okay, now it is done. Okay, so now Suresh, can you go ahead and share your screen? I'm stopping
Am I
myself.
sharing? Yeah, you need to stop, I guess.
Yeah, I did stop. Now go ahead and share. I got for Prasant as well. Okay.
Am I sharing now?
Yeah, this is Prasant's screen. Okay.
No, it's mine.
Oh, this is sorry. This is Suresh's screen. Okay. Fine. Now close this. You have stored your private key also, right?
I didn't. This
Save.
paraphrase, passphrase.
Don't give them. Don't
nothing,
give
right?
now. We will do it later. Give save private key. Yes.
So I'm sharing.
Save it. Say Suresh underscore private key. Just there only. Save it in the. Okay.
That's all right. No extension to private key.
No, because it comes directly .ppk. Yeah. Done. Okay.
Yes.
Go to Putty. Okay, and Putty, what you would need, the very first thing you would be needing is the public IP, right?
Yes.
Okay, now what is the public IP? Is 130.162.116.16. Okay, now type some name, DBCS01 or Suresh underscore DBCS01, anything. Okay, save it. Go to connection, data, auto login username OPC. Okay, come down to SSH, AUTH auth. Right, browse. Give private underscore Suresh underscore key from cloud documentation. Save it, save it. Save. Now double click or open anything.
Yes.
Oh, great. Oh, check if the database is there or not. Try to sudo to Oracle. check OSL is running or not. Or I'll just do a touch file in your name also after this. It's running good. Do touch Suresh there. Touch Suresh. Okay, great.
Yes, able to do it.
Okay, so you got it, right? How do you give access in industry best practices and in
Yeah.
real time also, okay?
Yes.
Okay, now we can stop this. I'll go back to my screen sharing. I'll add a couple of more.
Uh,
Yeah, who's next? Some questions I could see.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
stopped sharing.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, now coming back here, I got one more. One more is from Prasant. Okay, let me store this. I'll do it. Prasant, you try it yourself. Okay, I'll not gonna share it now because we already did this here. I'm just saving it. Prasant underscore pub underscore key dot pub. See, public key always you need to store in dot pub. Private key you don't have to. Okay. I'm just doing it to one or two more times so that you get very much familiar with this. Okay, go back to SSH access. Click on add new key. Choose a file. I'm going to say Prasant underscore pub key dot pub. Add new key. Confirm. Submit.
Soumya, can this be automated? Adding the public keys. No, it depends on the each individual. Is it?
Yes, absolutely. See, there could be many ways we can do that. Okay, that is not a problem. But at least SSH keys should never be done that way, or nobody will accept it, and none of the compliance will also accept it. Okay, and it is not a very task that you would be doing frequently. Okay, if you are the owner of the database, you are giving access, then you would be very skeptic, right? Arey, who are you? Why do I give you OPC access? So that also you think 10 times and then only give you.
Because in our organizations, if we see, we the employees will have to connect to the servers each and every time. I mean, most of the time. So each and every employee cannot generate public keys and give it to the admins who manage the cloud infrastructure.
Right. No, this I'm talking about. See, it is not about the environment that you're talking about. I'm talking about the real time. Okay. In real time, if there is for example, Capgemini. Okay. So Capgemini is a consulting company. Yeah. Talk about a company like, who's a manufacturing company like Maruti, for example. Now, Maruti has acquired about, 10 OPCs from Oracle. Now, who's managing Maruti's infrastructure? Either it can be Oracle or it can be Capgemini or TCS, right? Now, let us assume you are part of either one of this. Or let us say that you are part of Capgemini or TCS or Oracle, where you are supporting Maruti's 10 OPCs. Now, you are supporting 10 OPCs for Maruti is fine. You are continuing all the support is fine. But Maruti says, out of this 10 Oracle public clouds, 2 databases are belonging to SAP BI purpose. Okay, so there is a different team from TCS. They want to have access this database. So 2 to 3 users they would need, or 10 users. So then you have to get their public key.
Yes.
So ideally, even if it is internal also, somebody has to add the public keys to the server. Okay, that's
So yes.
So basically, we generally generate a key and don't give it to them. Okay, usually we ask them to generate their own key and give it to us.
Okay.
Okay, so what I was trying to say is basically, yeah, so I just added this Prasant's ID. Prasant, you can check it of your own and let us know the result when this happens or not.
Yeah,
And then,
tell me the IP address.
yeah, the IP address, you make a note of it. It is 130.162.
Okay.
116.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, it's working. Hello.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
working great. Okay, okay, sure. Okay, so hopefully we are clear about our session today. Any doubts so far?
Clear.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, guys. So we'll continue on the same time. And honestly, like I had to cancel one or two sessions because I am actually in a hospital right now. I mean, nothing serious as such, but I had just come out for a servicing only. So I had a treatment like little late in the night, so that's why I couldn't do it yesterday. So far no problem. We will be continuing as we are doing now. We will meet up on the same time. 6:30 I will open.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. It's like urgent, Soumya. Like whenever you're comfortable, we can have the sessions. Like don't spam yourself.
No problem, man. I mean, nothing like that. That's what I told. I'm in a hospital, but it's an Ayurvedic hospital. So I'm here for relaxation for 10 days, nothing else. Okay.
Oh, then
So
it's fine.
yeah. So it's nothing too serious about it. So some treatment happens, some massage kind of stuff, but it's okay, normal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Have a good day to you all, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.